What it do, YouTube family? Welcome to another video. So in my last video, I went over some of the things that caused me to switch from Canon to Sony. I had the Canon T7i. I now shoot with the beloved A7 III that I have right here. But what I didn't go over is the lens that I bought when I purchased my camera back in September. So I decided to make this video just to go over the one lens that I bought with my camera and why I bought it and why I feel like this is the best lens to start out with. If you plan on getting an A7 III, or if you have an A7 III, you're gonna wanna get this lens, or if you have any camera system for that matter, the focal length in this type of lens should be the #1 lens that you start with if you only plan on purchasing one lens. And that one lens that I'm speaking about is no other than the Sigma 24-70 DGDN 82mm right here. Bam. So like I said, if you were to have one lens with any camera system, your best bet is to go with a 24-70 focal length, or if you have a crop sensor camera, you can always go with like a 17-50, 17-55 focal length, which is pretty much the equivalent of a 24-70. Now, depending on what you plan on using your camera for, the 24-70 has your bases covered in so many areas. Just the main focal lengths alone, you have 24, you have 35, you have 50, and you have 70mm, all which can do different things. And with the APS-C mode of the A7 III, I believe that this actually goes to like a equivalent of a 105, if I'm not mistaken. My math may be a little bit off. So you pretty much have 24 to 105 with the APS-C mode of the A7 III or any other Sony camera that has APS-C mode. So that's another added plus. And the reason why I say the 24-70 is the best overall lens you can have if you're going to only have one lens is because of the versatility of this focal length. Now think about it, at 24mm you'll be able to vlog if that's what you want to do. I mean, it's not going to be as wide as a regular traditional wide angle lens like a 16-35 would get you, but it is usable. Also at 24mm you can do things like landscape photos, outdoor landscape photos. This lens is gonna have you covered on that front. And like I said, a lot of people like to film a lot of things at 35mm. You're getting a 2.8 constant aperture throughout the entire zoom range. So you're pretty much covered. You wanna go to 50, you wanna take some portraits, you're good with your 50mm portraits if you wanna do like upper body. If you wanna zoom in and get like the headshots and that nice blown out background at 2.8, still gonna give you a really good blown out background. And then at 70mm, you're gonna really compress that background behind you at 2.8 aperture. So like I said, man, this lens will have you covered through pretty much a lot of the basic uses, and that 2.8 aperture is money. So when I was doing research prior to buying my A7 III, I knew I wanted to go with a 24-70, and there were pretty much three options in which I could have went with. You have the cheapest of the bunch, which is the Tamron 24-70. Then in the middle is this guy right here, the Sigma 24-70. Then on the higher end, you have the G Master 24-70. All 2.8s. So I'm not even gonna fake for you that G Master was never really an option because I just felt as though it was too much. I think it's even as much as the camera, and that just wasn't even in my budget. So for me, it was automatically either the Tamron or the Sigma. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I was a little bit biased off the jump towards Sigma because I felt like it was pretty much a household name for me. I never used or had a Tamron lens. I used to have the Sigma 18-35. I'm always have known Sigma to produce beautiful images. So I kind of already knew that I was going to go the Sigma route. However, I did do research. I watched a lot of comparison videos. One comparison video that I would recommend that you check out if you're trying to decide which 24-70 2.8 for Sony you want to go with, check out Gerald Undone. He did a comparison between the three lenses, and he pretty much shows you image quality, gives you the pros and cons of all the lenses. And I think that he found the all of them to be pretty good. The Tamron is a little bit on the cheaper side. I believe it's all plastic, doesn't compromise the image, but just little things that he said about the image as it compared to this, I just knew off the jump. He just like pretty much affirmed how I felt about Sigma. And like I said, it's a household name, just the build quality, everything about the lens, I like it. Now the main things that I do like about this lens, like I said, the image quality. You're gonna get some beautiful, beautiful images out of this lens. And a lot of people crack on Sony colors, man, and to be honest, I don't know where that comes from, I guess, because it may or may not be as good as Canon, depending on whose eyes you're looking through. But you know, images from the A7 III taken with this lens, even video, it's buttery smooth. It looks very good. Like I said, I primarily use my camera to produce my wife's Instagram content and YouTube content. She's into fitness. I produce my own YouTube, obviously, but the majority of what I have used this lens for has been video work. And like I said, the one thing that may be a little con as far as using it for video is if you have it on a gimbal, excuse me, because it is a little bit heavy. I don't know how much it weighs, but this is a pretty heavy lens, especially as it compares to the Tamron, which is really light. So with that being said, one gem I'll drop on you is if you do plan on using this for video and putting it on a gimbal, make sure you balance it at 50 millimeters. So that way, if you go to 70 or go to 24, it doesn't really mess up the balancing and the motors on your gimbal. So yeah. And one more con that I have to mention, one thing that I noticed with all Sigma lenses is, I don't know if you can see it, but they seem to like pretty much hold on to like a lot of dirt and dust easy, especially up in here. Hasn't really affected anything as far as image quality for me. I mean, I know this thing does zoom, and I don't know if if dust can get caught up in there and go down into the glass. But like I said, I haven't had a problem with that. However, I do notice that like this thing is like a dust magnet. And so is my Sigma 18-35, so that's just something to know. But like I said, you can't go wrong with this lens. It's pretty much the middle of the pack as it pertains to the 24-70s on the A7 III or Sony system, period. You can go Tamron if your budget isn't there to get this lens. I believe the Tamron is about $799. This lens is $1099 new. You can probably find it used for about between $900 and $1,000, or you can be a big boy and go get the G Master, which is like, I think, double the price of this, maybe like $2,100, and I'm not doing that. But let me know how that works out if that's what you want to do. But like I said, anybody that's just getting into the Sony system, and if you're starting with like an A7 III or whatever, and you plan on doing like a plethora of things, you need like a real versatile focal length to get a lot of things done. You cannot go wrong with a 24-70, particularly this 24-70. I really can't speak too much to the Tamron. People praise it. I know that it, is good, it works, but from what, I've researched and pretty much what I've seen, this is going to be better. I'm always a big advocate of the statement, you get what you pay for. It costs more, doesn't always mean that it's better, but based on my research, I believe that it's better, so that's why I went with this one, and hopefully I'll be able to get that Sigma 14-24, and then hopefully they make a 70-200 for E-Mount, so I can have that holy trinity. So that's where I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I hope you all really did enjoy it and found some type of value in it. If you did, if you can just take a moment and hit that like button, I would really appreciate it. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And oh yeah, I forgot, if you are interested in purchasing this lens, I am going to throw an Amazon affiliate link down below in the description, and I'll also throw in a link to the Tamron and the 24-70 G Master as well. So I hope you guys end up getting a lens that you're able to create fire content with, because at the end of the day, it's not about gear, it's just about getting out there, having the tools to use to get the results that you need. So yeah, until then, I'm gonna catch you guys in my next video. Peace out.